You know, when you run a tennis shop, you get asked all the time, what tennis string should I use? What's the best fit for me? Obviously, every player is different, but in this video, I want to talk about three very popular Yonex polyester strings and then compare it to ChatGPT and see what it says. Because, like a lot of things, we're seeing how AI can recommend things and can it do it better than, say, I could or someone who gets paid to recommend string and rackets. So, in this video, I'm going to be comparing Polytour Pro, Polytour Rev, and Polytour Strike, and we'll see what I say and what ChatGPT says, and we'll go from there. The most popular Yonex polyester string is probably Polytour Pro. I've seen it on the rackets of some of the top Yonex endorsed professionals. And if someone were to ask me, should I use Polytour Pro? My answer would be Polytour Pro is a great soft poly. So if maybe you're coming from a hybrid setup, or maybe you want a polyester but want something a little bit easier on the arm, Polytour Pro would be a great fit. It's a rounded string, it's a soft poly. Like a lot of soft polys, the tension maintenance after a while can be an issue, but it's a great fit for someone who wants power from the baseline, doesn't need tons of control and doesn't want too firm of a string bed, but it's a great rounded poly that's soft and will still be comfortable even as a polyester. The next Yonex polyester string I'll talk about is Polytour Rev. Polytour Rev is firmer than Polytour Pro, so that's one thing that stands out. Also, it's shaped. It's technically eight-sided, but for me, a lot of times the eight-sideds feel almost rounded, but it is a shaped poly. And most importantly, it's silicone infused or silicone oil infused. So when you feel Polytour Rev, you're going to feel it's very slick. And the point of that is, the point of a lot of polys is for them to slide and snap. So that's what makes Polytour Rev unique. You can feel it right away how slippery it is. So ideally, it's a firmer poly. It's one that slides and snaps due to the silicone oil infusion. And it's just that type of poly. So firmer than Polytour Pro, maybe a little more spin friendly than Polytour Pro. So if someone wants to know what's a poly that is a little firmer and can maybe get a little more spin at the sacrifice of maybe some power, Polytour Rev could be a great option to choose. The final Yonex poly I'll talk about is Polytour Strike. What makes it unique? It's firmer. So firmer strings I would consider more control strings. And more control strings I usually consider a more advanced string. So someone who has plenty of power, hits the ball plenty of hard, but wants to bring that ball back to be able to take a big swing with maybe a very heavy topspin grip and just have that ball dive in. Someone doesn't need power. So usually advanced players, or a lot of advanced players, they get plenty of power. So Polytour Strike will give you plenty of control and it create a much firmer string bed than the other two strings. So that's what makes Polytour Strike unique compared to the other ones. It's a control-oriented poly that plays firmer. So with those Yonex polys, that's what I would recommend if someone came to me. Let's see what ChatGPT says, and maybe if they disagree with, or if ChatGPT disagrees, or if maybe I got something wrong, and let's see what they would recommend for someone who is looking to demo one of those Yonex polyester strings. Okay, so I typed into ChatGPT, compare and contrast the tennis strings Polytour Pro, Polytour Rev, and Polytour Strike, and it looks like it gave me a lot of information, which is great. I won't go through it all, but let's just see if the gist of what I saying was right. So Polytour Pro, it says overview, it's a soft, comfortable polyester string with good all-around performance. I agree with that. That's kind of what I was saying, that it's a good softer poly. So that's what it's basically telling us in this prompt. It's soft. Feel, it's good moderate spin, medium power, that's good. Ideal for players who want a blend of comfort, control, and a little power. Great for those transitioning into polyester strings. Big agree on that. Polytour Rev, a shaped poly designed for maximum spin and snapback. That's what I agree with. It's firmer than Pro, but more responsive than Strike, so we'll see when we get to Strike. Spin, excellent due to its eight-sided shape and slick surface. Agree. Power low to medium. Control, very good. Durability, good. Ideal for spin-heavy baseline players and modern topspin hitters, aimed at aggressive intermediate to advanced players. Big agree on that too. And Polytour Strike, overview, it's the most control-oriented and durable polyester string or polystring. I agree. Very stiff and built for heavy hitters. Totally agree. It's good for control is what I said, and this is basically the gist of what they're saying. This is a control string made for advanced players. So good. It looks like ChatGPT and me are on the same page, and it gives us an overview of Polytour Pro being soft, Polytour Strike being firm. And basically everything I said, it looks like ChatGPT and I are on the same page, so that's great. And it's basically final thoughts, Pro's best comfort and playability. I agree. I think Polytour Pro would be a great fit for someone who's transitioning from a hybrid or from a softer setup. Rev is for someone who wants spin. Yep, that's silicone infusion. It's probably a debated topic, but I agree with that. And strike is good for control. Maybe a high school or college player who just crushes the ball, who just needs to bring that ball back. So I agree with what ChatGPT says. The most important thing with tennis gear is always going to be getting out there and trying it. But in this case, it is fun to see how we can use AI to kind of get recommendations and see it how it coincides as what we know in real life and what AI says. So I had a lot of fun making this video, and I hope you found this information useful.